Content may be upsetting to some viewers. Any of these topics will be listed in the description.
Alright, the time has come. We're going to read the Ant Spies. This is Storytime styling. My name's Jamie. I am on a creative entrepreneur journey that I'm bringing you guys with me, and I also, from time to time, will do story times, whether I'm going to talk about like how I styled my outfit throughout the story, or maybe do like different get ready with me's. Or I also might do story time designing with some graphic design. So if any of that interests you, then stay tuned. I'm a new creator. Be easy on me. I'll go through my outfit a little bit throughout. But yeah, it's very early 2000s themed and in multiple ways than one. I didn't even actually plan on it because I plan on leaving the shirt out like baggier. I'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so we're going to read the Ant Spies, which I made I think it was 2001. Some of this seemed a little bit too synonymous with the whole 9/11 incident and the war. It's really interesting how I processed that as a kid. Because going back, okay, so there's this line in The Office, right? Where Ryan says, okay, there's probably two lines that Ryan says in The Office where I'm like, dang, do I relate to Ryan? That kind of sucks. But he says, big Office fan, by the way, if you don't know. He says, yeah, he's like as an excuse, he's just like, yeah, I don't really think I ever processed 9/11. And like, it was all funny at the time. But then one day I actually realized, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, dang, dude, I really didn't process 9/11. I was a kid. I actually didn't process that. I think I watched a documentary as an adult, and that's when I realized, I was like, holy crap. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. Well, kind of on topic, but not really. So, The Ant Spies. Written and illustrated by Jamie Parton. As you can see, these ants, they're wearing camo pants. Yeah, and some of them are flying around on I didn't call them jetpacks. I don't know what I called them, but we'll get there. And then this one's got like flaming rods. Yeah, you're gonna have to see the story. Also, my handwriting was way better when I was a child. I don't know what happened. Okay, this part, I'm not gonna lie, when I read this, when I found it recently, I like had a whole crying session because I've just been getting a lot of signs lately. My cousin, passed at way too young of an age a couple of years ago. So I just remember how much, growing up with my brother, my sister, and my cousins, how much they meant to me and how close we all were. And just to see his name, actually spelled out here, because I dedicated this. It says The Ant Spies. I dedicated this to my cousins, and I listed them all out. And then also my brother, who was in the military. I don't think he was in the military. No, he wasn't in the military at this time, though. Like, we have an age gap, but not that much. And I said, and their families, as if their family wasn't my family. But when I saw my cousin's name on here and the fact that I dedicated it to my cousins first, yeah, that was freaking hard, man. Not gonna lie. Some things are really, really hard when you look back on old stuff, right? But we have good memories. So anyway, sit with me and we're gonna watch this. Okay, I'm gonna have to show the illustrations after probably. So, okay. On November 16th, 2001, it was very specific, one of the spies, Travis, went on the internet on his computer. I gave no context. Oh, it's because I was on the wrong page. I'm skipping pages. Okay. Didn't happen. Okay. One day, a long time ago, there was a huge land area. The land was called Antland. I'm getting Genesis vibes from this. Maybe I was reading the Bible at the time. I don't know. Secret agent ants lived all around there. They never leave Antland until disaster comes to hurt their country. Cottages made of tiny sticks in the woods. Wow, my handwriting was so good. I can actually read what I wrote. In their country cottages, they have many things. They have computers, computer sunglasses. I was referring to like, the whole like Matrix thing, like when they show like the coders and like the tech vibes from like the early 2000s. Computer sunglasses. Oh my gosh, that's so great. Whew, okay. And little things called flyaways, that the jetpacks, that secret agent ants use to fire up and fly. They also have army clothes and hats to camouflage. Yeah, because they need that to camouflage themselves from enemy spies. You don't know what it is like to be an ant. There are many more disasters for an ant than there are for a person. Now we're back to this page that I thought was first page. On November 16th, 2001, one of the spies, Travis, went on the internet on his computer. I had to specify that. I mean, actually, now you have to specify that. But anyway, he looked on his email. It was called Danger, Danger. I had exclamation marks, so I have to yell it. It said, Danger has come to Antland. After 7 years, we thought Danger had left. Well, we were wrong. It has come again. Caps, exclamations. A big snow cloud has come to our land. It will be snowing hard all winter. Be prepared for the snow and put big tents around your cottages. I was just going to warn you about the snow. Sincerely, Mr. Brown. Such a casual outro there. I have to put my tent up fast before winter comes. Winter is only 3 days away, and it takes me 3.5 days to put the tent up. Can't make this up. What am I going to do, Travis? Okay, I love this illustration here. Why does it say QWERTY in all of the correct? I looked at the keyboard and it is all in the correct letterings in my drawing. Bro, what was I? I think I was in 3rd grade. Like, I'm impressed. I took more time to make things right than I do now, probably. I don't know. I also really liked writing and drawing. I know exactly what to do. I will invite David, Mr. Brown's son, over to my house to help me put up my tent. He already has his up because he told me. So right at that moment, he crawled to his spy junk drawer and got his walkie-talkie and called David. David said he would help Travis put up his tent. So David crawled to Travis's house. He knocked on the door. Okay, hold on. I read this before. I'm still not prepared for it. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a great time to take a little break. We're going to talk about my necklace here. Okay, it's Vitaly. My amazing friend Frankie gave it to me because she knows that I love this brand so dang much. They're made out of recycled stainless steel. It's hypoallergenic, and I'm allergic to nickel, so that is amazing for me. It's a really awesome, like, edgy style brand, but they have a lot of things that I can still wear for work, which I've been like collecting and kind of still trying to have my own flair at work, even though I, have to dress like really professionally and everything. So I'm trying to build up my accessories and then also eventually my wardrobe too, in a way that still reflects me, but in a very polished professional way. So one thing that I really like to do, now, even though this is consistent here, so this chain is like consistent all the way around, and to work I'll just wear the chain all the way around, but I actually really like Vitaly's like logo and everything, and the way that they have like the clasps, so they have that here, and I think it looks cool like this. And I have another necklace, so I have a couple other necklaces, but my large black chain necklace, which I'll show you guys another time. Like it has a really cool like click on there where it looks awesome just like that. But especially with the silver, there's something about that silver with the clasp that actually looks cool like this. So they just, I don't know, I love their attention to detail and how they make everything look awesome. So anyway, that's part one of my outfit as I collect myself. Okay, here we go. I'll start it back. So David crawled to Travis's house. He knocked on the door. "What's up?" said David. "What's up?" Travis said back, because that was a thing. Okay. "You know, we don't really have to start on the tent so soon. Let's go watch my new DVD, Jurassic Park 3. Can you tell I really, really liked Jurassic Park and dinosaurs? And also I definitely just got that DVD. This all lines up with the time frame. Like I remember when I got that for my birthday. It's insane. Anyway, so I know exactly how old I am here. "Jurassic Park 3, said Travis. "Great idea," said David as he shut the door and dropped his sports bag. "If you're thinking I have a DVD player and a TV, I don't," said Travis. "Then how are we going to watch the movie?" asked David. "My computer. I loaded the DVD playing program yesterday," said Travis. "Cool, dude," said David. "Let's go and watch the movie," said Travis. "Okay," said David. So they started watching the movie. All right, so with that being said, this shirt, I love to just be like, oh yeah, it's thrifted, vintage from the 2000s. Technically, yes. I actually kind of stole it from my brother. He left it at my mom's, and I was going through some stuff like a few years ago, and I remember that he had this. And I know for sure because he loved the tribal look, right? And he was a teen in the early 2000s, so that's kind of like some of the style vibe that I go for a lot these days. And this is now my favorite shirt. I actually like wearing it baggy, but I'm going to show you guys. So I'm actually wearing it like this, which is kind of even funnier because this is more of like the dad look. But I just really wanted to show the chain today. So yeah, anyway, I ended up tucking it in. But yeah, it's definitely his. I confirmed last time I saw him, and I think that's when he figured out like I'm like constantly wearing his shirt. But it's cool. So like I kind of borrowed it / stole it from him. I mean, he left it here, you know. And I was like, this is freaking stellar. This is sick. I need it. And now it's my favorite shirt. And it's kind of baggier on me, and I like wearing it baggy. But for this particular fit, I decided to tuck it in so that the rest of the details of my outfit would go. And then I unintentionally went for the 90s dad vibe because, you know, like this chain, by the way, you know, got this chain from Hot Topic. Yeah, all the way around. I use it as a neck. I've used it as necklaces. I've used it so much. Like I got it in 2011 or 2010, maybe 2009. I don't know. Sometime in that gap of time frame. Yeah, definitely not 2011. It was earlier than that. But yeah, so I'm out of breath. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this is definitely his. I confirmed it with him. I'm like, I'm pretty freaking sure that this is your shirt. And I wore it like, you know, last time I went to his house. And he's like, yeah, that was mine. That's funny. And, but yeah, another reason why I know is because he has 2 tribal tattoos. He has one around each bicep. He has like a smaller one that I'm actually pretty certain that he uses as inspiration. But it was so popular back then, it's really hard to know like where he got it from. But he's got one on his arm that just kind of was like this, and the other one's like wrapped all the way around. So yeah, that was him all the way. Anyway, okay. Remember, they just watched the DVD, or no, he had the DVD loader on his computer. They're about to watch Jurassic Park 3. Here we go. Right then, what they weren't expecting, a big loud voice said, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." I wrote it large, by the way. Yeah. I feel like I don't yell loud enough to really explain this. Wah! Yelled David. I spelled it W-A-H, so I feel like that's accurate. And Travis at the same time. What happened to your volume? Asked David. Well, I turned it on all the way when I was listening to my downloaded music online yesterday, said Travis. So that was the loud boom, boom, boom going on for 20 minutes yesterday, said David. Yep, said Travis. They continued watching the movie. You can see, welcome to Jurassic Park. Look how excited they are. Look, their little ant hands are so happy. They're raising the roof. Oh my gosh. Oh, I even have the Jurassic Park gates. Bro, this is so great. I'm gonna have to like show you guys. Maybe I'll put it on my Instagram things after I upload this video. After an hour and a half, the movie was over. I bet you I looked it up. I haven't looked it up yet right now. Travis and David get started on the tent. For 2 nights, David slept over Travis's house to work on the tent. Finally, winter came, so David had to leave. Travis went online that day, and he found another email by Mr. Brown. It was called More Danger. It said, there is more danger. Our worst enemy, the fire ants, are coming to Antland for war. They are getting mad at us, and they think that we are the worst ants alive. Not only us shall fight them, ants from different lands, countries all over the world will come to fight our worst enemy. Sergeant Mudd and the King Fire Ants war name made a plan. They said we will fight with snowballs with the evil plants in them. The evil plants are so bad that if an evil plant lands on you for 5 seconds, you will blow up. I will be the lead master of our side. My name will be Master General Brush. This war should be called World of Ants War 3. It has been the 3rd war for us ants. We shall stand united together as a team to fight the war. Remember, use your flyaways for the war. I just wanted to warn you. Sincerely, Mr. Brown. Every email ends in, I just wanted to warn you. After like, serious news. Hey, it's war. Just wanted to warn you. Travis got offline. Oh, great. Just what I need. More danger. So I think this is interesting. Clearly, we know what was going on here. And it's very interesting to see, like, my take of what was going on in the world and, like, after 9/11 happened and the war and everything and General Bush, like, I'm pretty sure that was about Bush. It's interesting to reflect on this and see, like, what my perspective was and how I was taking that in and how I was listening to, adults talk about the war and everything, and everyone believed, like, World War III and things like that. Yeah. So I made a story about it with ants to cope instead of, I can't do anything about it. So it's very, very, very interesting. I was actually really kind of impressed with how much, like, I based it off of, like, a real life scenario. Because I was, like, halfway into this reading this, and I was like, whoa. I think General Brush is what got it. I was like, the description, too. I don't know. Oh, we have some different pictures now. Today is the 2nd day of winter. That means the war is starting. So that means that everyone is going to be very busy getting ready for the war and getting their spy stuff together. Travis was getting a sneak peek of his enemies. He was looking at a picture of the enemies with his computer sunglasses. Travis was reading a 1/2-inch fire ant, 2-inch fire ant king, 1-inch wide fire ant king, 1 centimeter wide fire ant. Travis took his sunglasses off. Now I need to pack up my stuff and meet Mr. Brown at his house, said Travis. So we packed up and crawled to Mr. Brown's house. Making some connections now that I wish I hadn't. We're gonna continue. Okay. Travis was at Mr. Brown's house. Everyone had to put on their army clothes and get out their guns. Mr. Brown told the group directions and went over the rules of the war. I'm sorry. My little innocent mind just making certain connections and doing certain things and saying certain things like, what was I doing? I'm gonna get together. All right. It doesn't even have to do with this line. It was something else. Anyway, everyone had to put on their army clothes and get out their guns. Mr. Brown told the group directions and went over the rules of the war. And we have to have rules, right? Finally, everybody was prepared and ready for war. First, they flew off to an island called Secretly Big Island. Wait a minute, we forgot to introduce each other. We can't have a war without having an introduction session first. While I'm distracted, we'll talk about my pants. I got from H&M. I've been wanting like baggy flare pants. I'm definitely going to design some. I already have a vision in my head, but when I saw these are made out of the recycled program that they have, which, you know, H&M is definitely making a conscious effort to do that. So yeah, this kind of gave like that early 2000s baggy vibe. They weren't like baggy enough for me to have the baggy shirt over it, and it covered the chain too, which I would have been fine with if it worked, but it just kind of didn't work because it was just kind of tight in like certain areas, and it was slightly more straight down than I wanted. If it flared more, then I think the baggy shirt on top, like leaving it out baggy, would have been fine, but I wanted to tuck it in with this. So that was just a personal preference. I'll probably find different ways to style it. But anyway, where did I get distracted off last time? Wait a minute, we forgot to introduce each other, said Mr. Brown. Then everyone started saying their names. Kenny, Thomas, David, Travis, Henry, Sid, Nick, Joey, Mr. Brown. One of those is my brother, my cousin's name. Now that we have introduced ourselves, we shall look at the map, said Mr. Brown. This is Mountain Island. This is Rocky Trail Island. And this is Snowy Island, exclaimed Mr. Brown. Now we must fly away to Mountain Island, said Mr. Brown, seriously but calmly. So the group flew to Mountain Island. They slid by a few fire ants and fought them. Kenny lost an Guys, I just have to say, I have a history of like innocent but gory stories when I was younger. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's why you like Mortal Kombat. No, I wasn't like, it's not like I just had this thing for violence. Well, I don't know, maybe my brother's movies got to me too. But I just like, I would draw and like write about like ridiculously things that just like were just nonchalant, like kind of gory. And thankfully I didn't like draw any blood in here. I don't think, actually, I don't know, we're not to those parts yet. So, but it's just funny because there are some other stories, and I'll have to read some other stories if I can find my first grade journal. Oh my gosh. Anyway, seriously but calmly. So the group flew to Mountain Island. They slid by a few fire ants and fought them. Kenny lost an arm in fighting one fire ant. He's in the Army Ant Care Hospital. He will fly away to Rocky Trail Island when he has a replacement arm. I'm so glad I gave him a replacement arm. That is awesome. That's really good. Finally, the ants made it to Rocky Trail Island. They saw Kenny waiting for them with a new replacement arm. It seemed that arm was better than the one he had before. The group didn't feel comfortable at this island. Well, you're at war. You're probably not going to feel comfortable. Anyway, the group took tiny little steps. Each step they made, it felt like they were getting closer to something. Suddenly, one by one, fire ants popped out of the bushes. They fought the good ants. Henry broke his leg in fighting one fire ant. So Henry has to go to the Army Ant Care hospital to get a replacement leg. He would fly to Snowy Island when he had a replacement leg. Okay, well now we got Henry down too, and he lost a leg in battle, so this is not good. Finally, the group made it to Snowy Island, the final island. There would be a lot of fighting at this island. They would see Sergeant Mudden and General Brush at that island too. General Brush would help them. Sergeant Mudden would help the fire ants. So when the group got there, they saw Henry with his new leg. The group went where Henry was and made a plan. I really appreciate that I didn't kill any ants off here. Henry and made a plan. They started picking up evil weeds and putting them in snowballs. They started hitting the fire ants, and the fire ants hit them back. Only the leader of each group could fight with guns. That was a rule, I guess. Only the leader could fight with guns. The rest were evil snowball plans. Evil plant snowballs. Because that's how war works. Oh, things get good here. Okay. General Brush started shooting Sergeant Mudden. Sergeant Mudden started shooting General Brush. General Brush had a more powerful gun than Sergeant Mudden. They continued shooting each other. We'll be right back, so stay there, said one of the fire ants. Yeah, because in war, if you slip up, you can just tell them pause, and then they'll be like, okay, I'll stay right here so you can hit me more. Oh, little Jamie, what were you thinking? Okay. They went and tried to find an anteater to eat the good ants, but the anteater didn't. It ate the fire ants. Now all that was left of the bad side was Sergeant Mudden. General Brush took out his last bullet, put his spy gear on it, and shot Sergeant Mudden. Sergeant Mudden got killed. Now the winning side was the side of General Brush. So that was a plot twist. The fire ants were going to go get an anteater to eat the good ants. You're like, hold on, we got the big guys, stay right there, right? And then the anteater ate them instead. So they kind of took themselves out. The anteater became all of the ants' friend, even though the anteater was supposed to eat them. All the ants went home that day. They saw a newspaper by their door. It said, "The Heroes. Good wins against evil in the war. The war had been over since 7 o'clock in the morning." The heroes' names are Kenny, Thomas, David, Travis, Henry, Sid, Nick, Joey, and the leader, General Brush. Sergeant Mudden got shot. All of the fire ants got eaten up by an anteater. That was the news for today. I hope you have a nice day. Oh my gosh. Bro. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a picture. This is the newspaper. It says The Heroes. Still got glasses. Oh, that's actually kind of a good crown. I didn't do a bad job there. Anyway. I wonder if I really counted all the names and made that many ants for each one. I bet I did. Okay, here's my author page. Okay, so I'm gonna read this and I'll let you please come to your conclusions. Okay, I think this is the part that gives me the most. Author page. My name is Jamie Parton. I have one dog. So you know how the author pages are like, oh yeah, like talks about their accomplishments and like how they have like the, oh, I, has a daughter and a son and a husband. So this was mine. I have one dog and one hamster. My dog is Rocky and my hamster is Gizmo. I am 9 years old. Okay, I was right. 9 years old. I'm in 3rd grade. I love arts and crafts. I like adventures and outdoor activities. Some of my friends are Brandy, Chelsea, Amanda, Kalia, Brittany, Lauren, Haley, Justin, Joseph, Kyle, and a lot more. Just in case you didn't know that I had friends. Honestly, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I had a few of them at least. I have 5 people in my family. That was it. So, yeah, I do still like arts and crafts, and I like adventures. So that is accurate. I am still friends with Brandy. So, Brandy, you're a real one. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Let me check something out. We're going to do our final little fit check. I'm going to have to figure out a different setup here. But, yeah. So, complete with Vans. So, I got these at Ron John's not too long ago. I think these are my first of these, like, checkered style Vans. I don't even know where it's showing, so I'm just going to, like... So, this I got kind of recently. Love me some good Vans. This is actually the first kind that's checkered with this style, but I really wanted to wear it with this outfit because the blue and white, like you have just like hints of it that ties in. And I just feel like it works with the time period and the fit. There were a couple different shoes that I could wear, but that was just kind of my favorite one that I felt just kind of fit the bill and fit the scheme. So thank you guys for staying with me, reading the Ant Spies with me. That was a ride. That was a ride. And yeah, so be blessed. God bless you guys. Write in the comments what your favorite early 2000s rock band or just like maybe fashion style was, because I think we're like all ready for it. You know, like it's already been coming back, but I asked my friend, I'm like, so wait, how long do you think until frosted tips come back? Because like I think we're ready for it. You know, I don't know. Some people want to leave some things in the past, but and maybe some of them should be, but you know, like maybe the ultra gelled spikes. You know, definitely to leave that one in the past. But I think some people could pull off some frosted tips. I don't know. Maybe that's controversial, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought of the Ant Spies. Don't be too hard on me. I was 9 years old and I was processing the war, okay? So sorry if it wasn't up to par. I was 9. I thought it was a funny story regardless of the topic. Thank you guys for watching with me and let's do this again soon. All right? Peace out. Bye.